we go. This is a big game in a big match. And up at the top left of Ohana is SlayerS representative. It is Genius getting a lot of wins already. Really, they're already getting their money's worth out of this guy, aren't they?
3 wins, that's pretty good,
Not
man.
bad.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, now in the bottom right from Team Liquid, we have a Terran player who very well could turn things around, but if he doesn't, Team Liquid will be in pretty big trouble. This is a big game for him. This is almost, I would say, almost a must-win situation. It is none other than Liquid TaeJa.
Now, we've seen a scenario like this a couple of times in the past, like we said. He's done well against MVP. He took a couple of wins there. Of course, it was Hero that closed out the set against Dongrigu. It was very cool. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Then against StarTale, they were down 4-1. He came back and he won 4 games in a row.
That was impressive, yeah. I mean, every time you see this guy play, it seems like he just gets the game more than anyone else when it comes to how he moves his army around the map, what decisions he makes, you know, what upgrades to get when he decides to maybe skip an upgrade or something like that. He seems to have all the answers. And when you have a player like that that's in the zone, that seems to just get StarCraft 2 on a higher level than anyone else, it's just really difficult to beat them. So Genius, I'm really curious to see what he's going to decide to do against a player like TaeJa. He is a player that can choose to do some crazy things once in a while. So
yes, he is. We
might see a bit of craziness from Genius this game. I feel like he's actually, not many people I don't think would intimidate Genius, but I think TaeJa might be one of them.
Look at this. Command Center first from TaeJa, but being built over at his third.
Oh,
and not directly on his third. It looks like he may just pick up and move over to his natural, but he's certainly going to confuse Genius for a while. Genius is going to be like, okay, where are the 2 barracks proxied at?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's meant to think. So we'll see if he responds to something like that. And the idea behind this is to just get him not to go Nexus first. And he's already not. He's already got his cybernetics core down. He's already got gas being mined as well. So it's not like he was really planning anyway to go for Nexus first on this map. But it's a nice little touch by TaeJa just to mess with him just a little bit. And there's 2 barracks going down, which Genius will see right away.
And this is a curious way to go about this as well, because he put down the command center and then hardly put down anything else until he got the 2 barracks down. So we sacrificed a little bit in SCVs. As we can see, supply 17 to 20 at the moment, but still, and he actually cancels the Zealot. It was 17 to 22 a second ago, but he cancels the Zealot he was making, and TaeJa's going to Engineering Bay block this for a while, so he has to restart now with a Stalker coming out.
Yeah, that's actually the worst case scenario there for Genius, because he already had a good unit on the way to deal with that Engineering Bay block, and now he doesn't. Now he's got a Stalker on the way. Stalker plus Probe take quite a while to take out the Engineering Bay. Now, the good thing for him is that he wasn't able to build it a whole lot. He's going to try to get it up a little bit more, maybe. No, just pulling that Probe off of there, which essentially gives it a little bit more health. So he's going to be just fine with that. Now, Genius is going to have to deal with that, and it's going to be a later base. Pretty cool stuff.
Genius does have a second gas on the way now. As we can see, TaeJa finishing up his orbital commands, lifting this this command center back over to his natural. So things are well underway for him, but albeit in a very interesting, kind of weird way.
Yep. Waiting for the 400 minerals. Getting a Twilight Council very early. Ooh, that's cool. Genius
Maybe
has
a modified DT expand?
Well, you know, I mean, there's a couple different things he could do with this. He could use Blink. This is a map where you can do a little bit of blinking on, but
here,
you know, where TaeJa has his barracks built too, he may just be able to want to blink in and try to take advantage of that. He doesn't know that TaeJa is moving them right now. That may be what's going through his mind. DTs though would be good too. I mean, if you're a Terran player and you're not preparing for that, if you don't have the Engineering Bay or you don't save scans at the appropriate time, you can definitely take some damage from DTs as well. So we'll have to see what he decides to use it for. There's also the possibility of charge and Archons as well.
Uh-oh, and he's coming over here. He's saving up. He's had multiple opportunities to go over to Blink, so I think it is going to be a weird DT expand.
Dark Shrine. I didn't even wait for you to click on that. I just knew. I knew it.
Yep.
Dark Shrine. And TaeJa is going to move out with these Marines to try to put a little bit of pressure on, maybe do a little bit of scouting, see if there's any sort of forward pylons going down, anything suspicious. Terran players generally don't scan very often in TVP, though, so good chance he's not going to know this is coming until the DTs are fairly close unless he miraculously gets an SCV into the base to scout.
A little bit of damage done to that Stalker. The Marines are trying to run away. Looks like they have enough of a lead time that they will be able to get away from the Stalkers, but they kind of abandoned the probe in the middle of the map.
You ever notice that the Xel'Naga tower, it's actually like, you know, broken up and stuff, but look at like when it reforms, what's holding it together is like beams of light. It doesn't actually form into a complete circle with the pieces. Like part of it is light.
Yeah, like feeds off of life
Just
force
watch.
essentially.
Check it out.
Here we go.
See, it's not complete. You turned that the wrong way, but yeah. That's
Anyway, whatever.
So the energy, I don't know what energy it is, the energy of life forms themselves next to this tower.
Sneaky little probe over here on the right-hand side. Looks like it's going to drop down a forward pylon here in a second to get those DTs just ever so closer.
Certainly
but there is already a missile turret up at the front.
There is in the front, but if Genius decides to throw down a Robo-Bay or possibly go for hallucination and do something like that, he can hallucinate units into the high ground. That could be a good way to use those DTs as well. But TaeJa, you know, he, like I said, he just understands the game at a level seemingly higher than a lot of people. And although you don't need to be a super genius to, no pun intended, to defend against Dark Templar like this, it's not something that you see very common.
Okay, this could actually be bad for TaeJa because even though he has the detection, it looks like he finally realizes it now that DT is able to slip into the main.
One into the main, one into the natural. The one to the natural, not really going to do a whole lot. Gets picked off. And he should have a scan saved up. Does he have a scan saved up? Not at the main.
And one at the
he does have one at the natural, yeah. You always generally do have a scan available at this point in the game, just in case. And this is why. Goodbye, Dark Templar.
He recovered that bunker, and he paid for it, so.
Yep, that's right. So that ended up working out just fine. There is another DT in the natural, and now there's no scan, but he should be able to deal with this pretty well.
Yeah, still nabbing a kill here and there. He's certainly been annoying with this. As we can see, 4 workers have been killed, forces out another scan as well. DTs haven't necessarily paid for themselves. It's a very expensive investment, but at least he got some sort of return for there being a missile turret up at the front. Could have ended in complete disaster.
Yeah, I like this third base by TaeJa. It's going to be nice to have that along with the triple upgrades, and he is the type of player lately to go for that really, really heavy bio style more than anything else. He started it in kind of a weird way, but it's going to end up working pretty well. Is that actually a third third engineering bay going down? Or am I just like hallucinating myself or something?
Let me see.
Because I thought he was getting double upgrades before. Yeah, that's actually a third engineering bay.
Engineering bay where? I think this is an armory.
Yeah, that's an armory. Never mind. But there's...
Okay.
What am I...
I think you're hallucinating.
I swear I saw an engineering bay on the production tab. Well, I am clearly just going insane right now.
I think it just finished up, so you're okay. I believe you. We'll get you medical help afterwards, but for now, I think you're okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right. Well, that was strange.
This Marine's like, ha-ha, victory.
I've been waiting my whole life for that Nexus to go down. No, let me do it.
No, this was my one purpose.
Poor guy.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah, I know how he feels, you know.
Yeah.
This one time I thought an engineering bay was building. It turned out that it wasn't. I felt the same way.
You're waiting your whole life for it, too.
Yeah,
so.
It was rough. It was rough.
This is quite a few gateways up for Genius at the moment. Sitting on 6. He's got a robotics base, sitting on 2 bases, going up to his 3rd now. So investing in double upgrades. He doesn't have a huge standing army at the moment, but of course he will be able to invest very heavily into it soon because most of his infrastructure is already in place.
Yeah, that's right. Colossus tech will be nice to have, and he also has the Twilight Council already down, so he can switch into High Templar fairly easily. He can even make Archons if he wants to out of Dark Templar if it comes down to it. If there's an emergency situation where he needs a lot of AoE very quickly, that's always something that he can consider. He'll definitely want to get those 2 gas set up at his 3rd as soon as possible, though, especially with everything that he has out right now, the upgrades, the Colossi, just whatever he wants to warp in. And you can be sure that TaeJa's going to try to do a little bit of misdirecting here. This drop at the main could be just a diversion to get him to do some damage at the 3rd base. He's also going to be dropping there, I believe, as well. Yeah, there's 2 medevacs filled with stuff. Classic play from TaeJa, but will it work?
And yeah, it looks like he is going to give up a couple of Marines there. It has pulled a few units out of position, but Genius still does have quite a bit left over to be sent over to the 3rd very quickly. So this will do a little bit of damage, a few workers maybe, but we'll see how much. Well, finally, the forces are coming back.
Oh, wow. Great response time from Genius, pulling those probes away immediately. He's going to target down the Nexus, but he's absolutely not going to get it. Not a lot of anti-air, so the medevac should be able to get out just fine. He does pick up most of his bio. Yeah, everything except for 1 Marine.
Yeah.
A medevac lightly singed by a sentry, but other than that, it's going to be just fine here. Templar Archives going down now for Genius. doing that switch, trying to get TaeJa to overmake Vikings a little bit after seeing that Colossus.
Genius has been able to recover after kind of the DTs at the beginning as well. He sunk a
Pretty
little bit
even
of
game,
forces into it, but didn't really take all that much damage.
Look at TaeJa's money right now. He's got 4 barracks on the way,
wow.
but he's a little bit, he slipped a little bit in macro this game, I gotta say. I mean, he got his 3rd base so quickly, but then he didn't follow it up with the barracks soon enough to really make use of it. That's actually really uncharacteristic of a player like that. I mean, he's going to burn through it pretty quickly once he has reactors on. Look at that micros. That actually, did that just happen?
That was gross. Wow. I'm sorry, TaeJa. That is ridiculous.
TaeJa, you're so good.
Well,
except
at macro.
Building barracks in time, apparently, yeah.
No, but he's going to be fine soon. I mean, he's going to have enough production structures up soon. I think I was counting the barracks there. He's
honestly,
even got a 4th base on the way.
It sneaks up on you, too, when you're playing. I mean, if you've got something else going on, you miss your macro for, like, under a minute, Blizzard time, suddenly you have, like, 1,000 minerals, and you're like, oh, no. I forgot to build those barracks, and you do have to deal with it. But as you can see, now that he has the barracks up, now that some of the reactors are finishing, the money is going down. He's also making a Ghost Academy, too, and Ghosts, of course, are definitely a little bit on the mineral-heavy side, too. So he'll be getting that money under control soon, too, so not a huge deal.
That could be a huge deal.
Yeah, that drop could be, it looks like it's not going to, oh, he finds a place that's open.
Man. High Templar was waiting to feedback, but it's not in position. All the forces are going to be down now, so TaeJa has a considerable force inside of his opponent's base.
Man.
Goes after the Templar before it can feedback any of the medevacs.
Oh, this is huge for TaeJa. He could do some decent damage. He's going to get the Dark Shrine, certainly, and then probably get out of there. Yeah, that's a good decision. He just needs to move the medevacs. Not a lot of anti-air again, though, and a push at the 3rd, too. Could target down that Immortal if he wanted to, but no, not really doing that. Will lose some units there, but all in all, a great drop from TaeJa. Getting that Dark Shrine out of the way is not a game-changing thing, but it's just a nice relief, you know? It's nice to not have to worry about DTs randomly running into your expansions, because a lot of times Protoss won't remake the Dark Shrine. It's so expensive and it takes so long to make. Yeah. That's just a good feeling as a Terran player to get in there and drop and kill the Dark Shrine.
So, supplies pretty even between our 2 players. Once again, TaeJa was running a little bit high on resources at the moment. He will start to bring things back a little bit here as he starts into his production once again. Almost maxed, going up to 3/3 upgrades. Already has +1 finish.
Look out, medevac.
Medevac does get picked off. Nice catch there for Genius.
Awkward.
But +2 attacks is already coming up for those Vikings.
Yeah, that's going to be nice.
There's only 1 Colossus up, though.
The big deal, yeah, that's the thing, is that the +2 attacks are going to be great if there are Colossus to shoot. Otherwise, they're not going to be so awesome. They can buffer well against some things once in a while. I mean, they can provide you with a little bit of a damage shield for the rest of your army. But again, you're sacrificing your Vikings to do that. So TaeJa maybe, well, he's not really overmaking Vikings, and he's got Ghosts now too. So I think he's just fine, honestly.
All right.
Wasn't as tricked as Genius would have hoped.
No, but
that one Marauder was like, ah! He's chased by like 30 Zealots.
Well, Genius is making his way through the middle of the map, and very nice job. Catches all but one of the High Templars, so there's only 1 Storm available for Genius, and he is smartly turning around. Yeah,
and TaeJa smartly chasing here. He wants to take advantage of this, but Genius getting the high ground, and I think TaeJa probably not going to be interested in tagging that. And look at this. Zealots warped into the main, and not a lot to defend here for TaeJa. He's going to lose that Ghost Academy for sure.
All right, at the same time, though, he may be able to trap his opponent's army. There goes the Ghost Academy, and it's getting pretty close. He's got the Ghosts up at the front. But his attention is elsewhere.
Oh, TaeJa needs to be so careful right now. The EMPs have been pretty good. Oh, but the Ghost's getting surrounded, and he can't remake too many of them. He's got such a strong bioforce right here, though, that I think TaeJa may just be able to roll right over this army. He lands the Vikings as well. TaeJa is going to absolutely crush this 3rd base, and Genius is in huge trouble right now.
Yeah, TaeJa's up now by 50 supply, and it looks like Genius's reign of terror may be at an end here.
He's just actually going to win the game right now. TaeJa is going to take out SlayerS Genius.
There goes down the Nexus. 3rd base, and now he's just going to roll his way into the natural.
GG.
There's GG, and TaeJa has once again stepped in and stemmed the tide a little bit for Liquid, bringing them back 3-2.